Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, it's all systems go for the 2019 midterm elections.
Talaga kapag nahuli ka, it will be a violation of election laws. Talagang iproprosecute ka ng mga kasama natin sa COMELEC as well as sa DOJ.
As COMELEC readies ballots that are loaded with new security features.
The COMELEC will conduct ballot verification in this facility.
Also, the poll body intensifies its crackdown against illegal campaign materials.
Ubusan tayo ng lakas ng tao, ubusan tayo ng pera naman sila. Kasi tatagalin namin eh.
Is a debate between administration and opposition bets a yes or a no?
Nag-aaralan po ng COMELEC yan. Matagal na rin nating nararamdaman yung pangangailangan para sa isang debate kung saan lahat ay dadalo. Hindi yung paisa-isa lang.
And the COMELEC's take on government's plan to make public the so-called narco list ahead of the 2019 polls. First and exclusive, COMELEC Chairman Sharif Abbas joins us live. And later, 4 candidates take a stand on key issues at the 3rd Senatorial Forum of CNN Philippines. That's for today's In Focus. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. Preparations are now in full swing for the 2019 midterm elections, and the senatorial race heats up. 62 candidates are battling it out for 12 seats at the Senate, and the opposition bets are requesting the poll body to arrange a debate with the administration candidates. Also, the COMELEC cracks down on illegal campaign materials, and let's see how they are monitoring the candidates' use of social media in their campaigns. What are the challenges ahead for this year's midterm elections? Let's go straight to the source of the story. Exclusive. Commission on Elections Chairman Sharif Abbas. Chairman, good to be with you. Maraming salamat for this opportunity,
Maraming salamat.
sir.
Good morning, Pinky.
So much to talk about, sir. Umpisahan ko muna ang preparations for the 2019 midterm polls. Sir, let's start with the printing of ballots. This began February 9, and you are supposed to be, the National Printing Office is supposed to be printing a total of about 63.6 million ballots for a voter population of 62 million votes. So may almost 2 million na extra, over 1 million extra ballots.
Well, Pinky, wala kaming extra because ang ratio natin sa balota is 1:1. So siguro yung off-of yung sinasabi mo in overseas, counted sila.
I see.
Kasama
Okay.
sila.
So once it's clear, once you are given a ballot, there are no second chances.
No, none.
So last week, about February 25, what I read was there were about 11 million ballots already printed. What's the update now? One week later?
Yes. Last Saturday, minonitor ko because I'm the chairman of the printing committee of the COMELEC. Nasa 30% na kami. So, most likely, matatapos namin siya before April 15.
That's the target.
Yes. No, the target is April 25, but sa aming timeline, mukhang magiging mas maaga.
Mas mapapaaga pa.
Yes.
Chairman, it's about 1 million. Yun ho ba yung average of printing of ballots a day?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that should be good news. And then the process by which this is done, because we understand, of course, or we know that iba-ibang ballots per city, ano?
Yes.
Sino ho ang unang ballots na napaprint, and then who's next?
Yes. Ang process natin, Pinky, is yung pinakamalayo, like in Mindanao, nauna talaga yung ARMM. And then the Mindanao region, ngayon nasa Region 8 na kami. Ang huli dyan is the NCR because sila din yung pinakahuling i-deploy dahil pinakamalapit sila sa National Printing Office.
And you don't see any problems so far?
So far, maganda. Wala. As a matter of fact, yung NPO na partner namin, mag-add sila ng isa pang makina. So most likely, bibilis pa yung printing namin.
Let's look at the ballots, sir, also to give the public a look at this. You can find this in the website of the COMELEC. We have a sample ballot. We'll put that up on the screen. So, sir, help us with this. There are 62 candidates for senator. And of course, this is for, I believe this is for Mandaluyong, the city of Mandaluyong. So then you have a House of Representatives member, but let's first go to the senatorial race, sir. They can vote up to 12.
Yes.
What happens if they vote for 13?
Hindi na bibilangin yan. So, magiging stray siya, hindi bibilangin ng makina yan.
Don't ever vote for more than 12.
Of course.
If they vote 11, undervote.
Okay lang. Okay lang.
So dapat ho talaga malaman ng tao na you cannot go over 12, otherwise parang disqualified yung boto
Yes,
for
yes,
senators.
yes.
If that happens in the senatorial race, will that affect the next one, the vote for the House of Representatives?
Same lang, kapag dalawang binoto nila for House of Representatives, hindi rin bibilangin ng makina.
Chairman, if they overvote sa senators, tanggal yun. Hindi ho siya bibilangin. Pero pwede pang bilangin yung sa House of Representatives, etc.
Yes, yes.
Hindi
yes.
siya magiging, hindi madidisregard yung buong ballot.
Hindi.
And what is this? Is this going to be shading?
Ang aming paliwanag dyan, ang shading namin is 100%. Pero sa makina, ang configuration niyan, babasahin niya kahit 25% lang.
Is that the standard now?
Yes,
25%?
we already issued a resolution pertaining to that policy. So we intend also to give a copy to the Supreme Court para maiwasan na yung mga issue before.
Yeah, well, the pending issue also
Yes.
right now between Vice President Leni Robredo and Vice Presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos. So, sir, so that's fine. I don't see any problems there. Siyempre, meron din sa... what's good is nakasulat naman dun Senator, vote for 12. Nandun naman sa tabi niya. And then the member of the Sangguniang Panlunsod, vote for 6. So
Yes.
tuturuan naman tayo and then
Yes,
try to
yes.
shade it 100%.
Ang maganda dito, Pinky, magbibigay din kami ng voter information sheet. So bawat botante, papadala namin ng instruction. So kasama yon sa aming programa na lahat ng voters bibigyan namin ng voter information sheet.
Does that mean, Chairman, pagpapasok po ako ng voting center, meron akong voter information sheet? On the day
Ipapadala namin sa inyo.
by mail.
Sa inyong address. Okay?
By mail.
By mail.
All right. And then, let's go to the party list. Chairman, 181.
Yes.
And obviously, you can only, nakasulat din again, if you look into that, it'll say only vote for one.
Yes, isa lang.
Again, if you overvote,
Wala. Hindi niya bibilangin.
forfeited yung vote.
Yung Pinky, meron kaming bagong listahan. Hindi siya ata 181. Mukhang umikli yan.
I think the latest, sir, is that, from 185, it is now 134.
Oh, yun. 135.
Tama, no?
Yes, 135.
Spokesperson James Jimenez is there. So now it's 134. So anyway, this is just a sample ballot,
Yeah,
134. Now, since we're talking about the party list group, sir, very recently there was a tweet, I think by the COMELEC, that nilabas na yung party list groups and their nominees. The reason for this, sir, is?
Usual naman yun na pinapalabas namin yung mga listahan. Pero kasi may issue tayo ngayon na yun nga daw dominated siya by political clans. So, para malaman din at mag-guide ang taong bayan, pinalabas din namin yung mga nominees.
Contra Daya is saying, Chairman, that they're not very happy with how the party list groups were vetted. Why? Because there were party list groups such as Manggagawa, Action Health Workers, and People's Surge that should not have been disqualified in the May elections. How do you actually vet? Because again, as mentioned, you said that a while ago, they're saying that 62 out of the 134 party list groups allowed by the COMELEC to run have either links to political dynasties, represented special business interests, or had questionable advocacies.
Well, Pinky, sa pag-file nila for accreditation, usually hindi mo makikita yung pangalan ng nominees. It's only the officers and members. So malalaman lang natin yan kapag nag-file na ng nomination. So doon nakikita yung mga politiko. So in fairness sa COMELEC, sa pagtingin namin over their petitions, hindi namin nakikita yan. Pangalawa, tinitingnan namin sa parameters ng batas. For your information, 20% lang ang na-approve sa total na nagpapa-accredit na party list.
20%.
20% lang. So, hindi ganun kadami. We are very strict on that. So, ganun yung proseso namin. And then, division level yan. Kapag natalo sila sa division level, pwede nilang iakyat sa NBank. And then from NBank, pwede sa Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So madaling sabihin na ito dapat masali, pero kami, batas-batas lang.
Are you happy with this, satisfied itong binet ninyong 134 na kasama for the elections?
Ako personally, Pinky, mas gusto ko nga konti eh. Oo, pero wala tayong magawa dahil na-comply naman talaga nila yung mga requirements. So kapag na-comply yung requirements, wala kang basis naman to disqualify them.
Do you wish that, as you were telling us, that hindi naman nakasali yung mga nominees when they file?
Yes, usually.
Do you want, sir, sana hopefully baka may ma-amend na dapat pag mag-file sila, nakasulat na sino yung kanilang nominees?
Oo, pero alam mo, yung party list system, nasa call yan ng Congress.
Yeah.
Oo. So siguro ang amenda doon sa kanila.
Yeah. But if you had it your way, would it be better or easier for the COMELEC to vet party list groups if the nominees were already included upon accreditation?
Well, actually, Pinky, to be honest with you, yung personality kasi, ang ina-accredit mo is the party list, not the personalities. So, medyo mahirap din yon. Pero, yun nga, ang basis natin dito is ano yung batas. Kung nakakomply siya, regardless kung sino yung bumubuo ng party list. So, yun ang hirap doon, na medyo mahirap yon.
And Congress has to possibly, kung may kailangan gawin dito, look into this again.
Oo, kasi marami naman talagang problema with the party list system. Isa nga dyan na issue natin is yung hindi na sila, allegedly, hindi na sila
Representing
representative.
the marginalized
na
sector.
marginalized
Yeah.
But you know, Pinky, we have a Supreme Court decision there na sinasabi na not necessarily na you belong to the marginalized
sector.
So, yes.
Okay, again, I just want to put that ballot up again. Sir, meron ho ba tayong security features and how foolproof is this, sir, na hindi madadaya or hindi matatamper with?
Alam mo,
Makokopya.
yes, you know, Pinky, for the last several elections since 2010, wala pa silang napakitang ebidensya na natamper yung sistema ng election natin. At ito namang bago namin na, although ginamit namin yung makina in 2016, nagdagdag kami ng mga security features. Like, for example, sa papel, may mga security marks na kami dyan. And then, special yung papel namin dahil in-import pa ito sa ibang bansa. So, doon naman sa makina, nilagyan namin siya ng resibo. Yung resibo ngayon, talagang particular kami sa particular precinct. Because before, hindi nakalagay yung precinct number.
Really?
Yes. So ngayon, talagang nilagyan na namin na itong resibo na to, dito ito sa ganitong klaseng precinct.
So if I were to vote in a particular voting precinct, paglabas po ng resibo
Makikita mo yung number ng
aking
presinto mo.
boto, yes, lalabas na siya.
Yes,
And then
yes.
you can keep that, of course.
No. Under the rules, ibabalik mo yun. But you have to, you can view.
Counter-check.
Yes, you can view kung tama ba yung binoto mo doon sa resibo.
And if COMELEC has to counter-check that, they can. However, it becomes a little bit too tedious.
Well, meron kami tinatawag, Pinky, na random manual audit. After the election, tinitingnan namin, may sampling kami ng pag-o-audit niyan. So, lumabas, Pinky, for the past elections, always nasa 99.9% yung accuracy ng pagboto sa makina.
How is the budget, sir?
Well, so far, Pinky, nasa reenacted budget kami. But again, malaki yung reenacted namin because the DBM gave us 25% of our total budget, which is amounting to 4 billion. So far, maganda pa naman yung budget namin.
So the total budget is how much?
12 billion.
12 billion.
12 billion.
And then right now, they have...
Yes, binigyan kami ng leeway ng DBM to spend as much as 4 billion for the first quarter.
We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Still to come, the Interior Department is set to release an updated narco list before the 2019 elections. COMELEC Chairman Sharif Abbas will still be with us after the break. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, COMELEC Chairman Sharif Abbas. Sir, Oplan Baklas, kamusta po ang Oplan Baklas ng COMELEC? Kasama ng MMDA, DPWH, a lot of other agencies.
Yes, ngayon na Pinky, ikakasa namin yung nationwide campaign namin for Oplan Baklas. So this week, iipunin ko yung mga directors namin all over the Philippines and then paplanuhin namin yung Oplan Baklas. So katuwang namin yan yung DPWH as well as yung ating MMDA. Sa probinsya naman, yung mga regional offices ng DPWH.
Some are wondering, siguro let's clear this up, Chairman, kasi yung iba hindi tinatanggal. The reason for that is because hindi pa nag-uumpisa yung local na campaign. Tama, Chairman? So yung
Yes.
mga sa local na kandidato, iniiwan pa, hindi pa necessarily kailangan baklasin. Is that correct, sir?
Totoo naman yon kasi hindi pa naman campaign sa local. But again, if there is a local ordinance being violated because of these mga posters, pwede na rin natin tanggalin.
How do you feel though that you have candidates who are running for a position, tapos sinasabi ito lang ang dapat na size, dito lang dapat sa mga common poster areas inilalagay, and yet there are so many violations of people wanting to run for public office?
Yun yung nakakalungkot, Pinky, no? Because ang labanan ngayon medyo nagiging epal yung mga kandidato natin. But again, depende yan sa magiging tingin ng mga tao. Kung sa tingin nila epal yun, sana wag nilang iboto.
Sometimes kasi, when I say that and when I see this, yung MMDA, yung COMELEC, yung police, yung DPWH, imbis na ginagawa pa sana yung kanilang trabaho on other things, they're busying themselves for Oplan baklas.
Yes, pinag-aaralan namin yan, Pinky, because under the law, ang magbabayad nung expenses sa Oplan Baklas should be the candidates.
Really?
Oh yes, under the Omnibus Election Code. So tinitingnan namin yan, inaaral namin yan. Hopefully, pag naayos namin yan, i-charge namin doon sa mga babaklasin
Sa mga kandidato. But that's subject to their objection.
Of course, but meron naman tayong ebidensya, yung tarpaulin mismo, talagang ebidensya yun.
Hindi kasi, di ba, even when you talk to the spokesperson, James Jimenez, he's always said that ang mangyayari dyan, he said, she said. Sasabihin,
Yes, yes.
sasabihin ng kandidato, hindi naman ako naglagay niyan, supporter ko. So sabi ni Spokes James, ang gagawin, bibigyan ng notice yung kandidato and dapat within a particular period of time, yung kandidato mismo tanggalin na yan. Otherwise, they will be negligent.
Yes, sampulan natin. Tingnan natin, Pinky, kung saan sila tatagal.
Chairman, sino ho ba ang kandidato na pinakamaraming illegal campaign materials?
Marami sila, Pinky. Ano? Di bale, titingnan natin yung listahan. Pero marami sila. Halos lahat ganun. Nakikita naman natin, obvious naman yan.
More opposition, more administration, sir?
Halos the same
Even the opposition.
Of course, of
silang
course.
dalawa.
The same.
They're all guilty. And then during a rally, they're allowed to put up bigger streamers and posters 24 hours before and 24 hours after.
Yes.
Pero kailangan tanggalin nila yun, sir, 24
Of course,
hours after.
Oo, tanggalin nila dapat yun. Kasi,
And then, otherwise, you'll charge them.
Oo. Sasample tayo, Pinky. Promise ko sa inyo.
Kailan yan, sir? Kailan na sample?
Inaayos lang namin yung particular na resolution regarding that.
So this week,
Yes.
it probably will come up. What is this resolution about? What is it? Anong coverage ng resolution?
Yun, una, i-charge namin doon sa mga kandidato ito yung expenses. Pangalawa, papailan namin sila ng violation.
Sir, it's about time. Charge them for that.
Of course.
Okay, campaigning. Secretary Martin Andanar was campaigning for senatorial candidate Bongo in a rally in San Juan. There was some criticism and asking, is someone like Secretary Martin Andanar allowed, being a cabinet secretary, to endorse and campaign for Bongo? Is that allowed, sir?
Titingnan natin yung civil service rules dyan because it is covered by the civil service rules. Under the civil service rules, yung mga highly confidential positions, pwede yan, like cabinet secretaries, pwede silang mangampanya. But other appointees in the government, bawal yan.
Like who? Sino? So pwede ang cabinet secretaries, pwede ang presidente, pwede ang vice president. Sino pong bawal?
Bawal yung mga ordinary na mga employees, yung mga permanent employees, yung mga career, bawal yon.
Sila ang bawal?
Bawal sila, But yung mga non-career, pwede yon. Because yung mga position na yun, political positions yun. Normal yun na pwede silang mangampanya.
Former SAP Bongo joining President Rodrigo Duterte's, yung mga lakad ni Pangulo. Is that allowed as well for a senatorial candidate?
Depende yan because titingnan natin kung merong expenses na ang gumagasto gobyerno. Pero kung wala naman, on the personal note siguro, wala namang bawal sa personal na relationship.
So he can join the president's activities?
Oo, for as long as walang pera ng
Government
gobyerno.
funds
Yes,
that are being used. But how can you tell if a government fund is being used?
Yan ang hindi natin alam, Pinky.
So mahirap talaga.
mahirap.
That's hindi niyo po mahuhuli ang isang tao kung gumagamit siya ng government funds because sino naman po aamin nun?
Mahirap yun, Pinky. Mahirap.
So when we see him with the president, let's make that clear. Bongo is not violating anything. Basta government funds are not being
Personal,
used.
personal view ko, wala. Because that is their personal relationship.
Aha.
Kung sinong pasasamahin ng presidente, like kung pasamahin niya ang asawa niya or anak niya, hindi mo naman pwedeng pigilan yun. Same with Bongo because alam naman natin na tao niya ito. Talagang personal na, kumbaga, tao niya ito.
Personal choice, eh.
yeah.
So, we can just say na swerte lang si Bongo dahil malapit siya sa Pangulo. Parang ganon.
Parang siguro, ganun. Ganun yun.
Sir, okay, what about the debate? 5 Ocho Derecho candidates went to the COMELEC requesting COMELEC to, have a debate among the administration and the opposition candidates. What's the stand of the COMELEC on this?
Well, yun na nga. Sinubmit nila sa office ko yun. Ipapa-NBank ko this Wednesday. Titingnan natin anong magiging decision ng NBank.
So wala pa, no? Because
Wala
NBank is on Wednesday. But personally, what do you think about it? Because, let's talk about it, sir. Si Ocho Derecho gusto ng debate with the HNP. So anyway, nag-morph pa yan into many things na sinabi ni Mayor Sara, pick the time, ganyan, tapos binigyan nila, tapos sinabi ni Mayor Sara na, I'm not your secretary. So, humaba pa po yung usapan. So, pumunta na sila sa COMELEC. In the past, we've had debates, but they're always, paano ba, sir? It's the media entities that actually sponsor the debates, sir. So, ang COMELEC ba pwedeng gumawa nun?
We tried, Pinky. As a matter of fact, all the networks came to our office. Gusto sana nilang bumuo ng debate nga for midterm. As a matter of fact, CNN is there. Lahat ng mga major na mga networks. Ang problema natin, Pinky, unlike in presidential, kukunti yung candidates, ito nasa 62. So even the platform, the system ng debate, nahirapan din yung mga networks. Kaya nga yung mga networks, ang kanilang naging pasya is kanya-kanya and it will be a town hall debate. Sa CNN, for example, it is a forum. Every week siguro tumatawag kayo ng 4 na kandidato.
Yes.
So ganun yung nahirapan kami on the platform mismo. So mahirap siya buuin for a midterm election. Now, doon yun yung problema. Pangalawa, doon naman sa paghamunan ng dalawang grupo, depende sa strategy eh. Ang ibang kandidato, ang strategy nila is through debate. Ang ibang kandidato naman is ayaw ko kasi lumalamang na ako. Ayaw kong makita yung magiging weakness ko or baka may masabi pa akong magkaroon ng impact sa aking rating. So, doon makikita yan. Depende sa diskarte ng bawat grupo.
But kaya ho ba ng COMELEC na bumuo ng isang debate between the administration and the opposition, or can you? Or if you so decide to do this, you will ask a network to do it. Paano ho kaya? What are you seeing so far?
So far, ang problema natin, oras. Wala na kaming oras, Pinky, for an official debate. That is why ako nga personally, pumupunta ako sa mga network to give a support. But again, it's not an official debate by the COMELEC.
So that means you support
Of course,
this
because
debate.
maganda yung debate, Pinky, nakikita ng tao, mismo yung mga kandidato, anong kanilang plataforma, anong kanilang personality. So maganda yung debate sana.
So mukhang malabo na ang COMELEC ang gumawa, but baka, tama ho ba, Chairman, possibly you will allow, you will have networks do it. Ganun ba?
Yes, susuporta namin pero hindi siya official. Hindi
So
siya
yung official na manggagaling sa COMELEC at imamandate ng COMELEC, which hindi niya naman, you can't really mandate senatorial candidates to show up, but to sponsor it and to push for it,
Pwede.
hanggang dun lang.
Yes, unlike in previous 2016, kami mismo, official yon. So nakipag-partner lang kami sa mga networks.
So yung official na ang COMELEC ang gagawa, mukhang malabo na
Medyo
yan.
malabo for a midterm.
We'll be taking another short break. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Chairman, narco list. The DILG is saying they may release the list of narco politicians that numbered about 83 last count from the PIDEA. Is this a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, call nila yon, Pinky, ano? It's a DILG and PIDEA's call. Mandate nila yon. Pero as far as COMELEC is concerned, hindi namin papasukan yon because sa amin, presumed innocent ang bawat nasa listahan. So,
Absolutely, sir. It's their call.
Of course, it's their call.
But personally, what do you think about this? Because I think nagsalita rin si Commissioner Guanzon na sabi ato niya, mag-file na lang sila rather than release the list. What's your take on it?
Personally, Pinky, yun lang nga sinasabi ko, hindi ko papasukan yung mandato ng DILG and PIDEA. Kung sa tingin nila nakakabuti yon, then depende sa kanila yon. But again, as far as the COMELEC is concerned, we presume those in the list innocent. So, hindi siya magiging ground for disqualification ng isang kandidato.
Do you think or feel that it could be unfair to the candidates if a narco list was exposed?
Personally, Pinky, tingin ko mas magandang nag-guide yun eh. Pero ang problema lang, totoo ba yun? Pero kung totoo, for me personally, mas maganda dahil nag-guide natin ang mga botante. Bakit mo iboboto yung isang taong involved sa narco politics?
The problem is, who's to say na totoo yun?
That's the problem. That's
So
the problem.
parang, it's nice to have a guide, you're saying,
Yeah.
but sana yung lumalabas na listahan ay 100% sure na totoo. Hindi ka lang accused.
Yes. Kasi may mga allegations dyan na may nasama because of politics din.
Right.
Sinama dahil politics.
Kalaban ka ng gobyerno.
Yes,
or
yes,
Oo.
yes. Kaya sabi ko, Pinky, call na yun ng PIDEA and DILG.
All right. Chairman, we have 30 seconds left. Maybe you can address siguro yung mga boboto sa May 13. Give them tips or tell us what to do, sir.
Well, ang kwan lang namin sa tao is lumabas sila, bumoto, wag nilang ipagbili yung kanilang boto. Kasi bihira lang yon. Yun na nga, nagka-campaign kami, Pinky, for against vote buying. So, yun. Then, ilista nila, yung suriin nilang mabuti, yung mga candidates, and then bago sila pumasok, siguraduhin nilang nasa listahan sila at meron silang dala-dalang listahan para bumoto. Doon sa shading, dapat 100% yung shading nila sa oval. So, yun lang. Doon naman sa mga kandidato, sana huwag niyong bilihin ang boto ng mga tao. Oo. So, yun lang yun.
Chairman, maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Maraming salamat
And of course,
din.
good luck to all of us.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.